Hey everybody, I'm Gary Palmer Jr., you're you, and together we are Minting Coins, your trusted source for crypto news, interviews, and ICO reviews. Thank you for showing up. Hit that like button. We are joined today with Rob Viglione, the co-founder of ZenCash and the president of the Zen Blockchain Foundation. Rob, how are you doing? Thanks for being on the show again.
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me again, Gary. It's a pleasure.
Indeed. And did I just say you're the co-founder of ZenCash? And is that still true?
No, it's not. Well, unless we're speaking history. So now I'm the co-founder of Horizen, which we're really happy to have announced as of yesterday.
Horizen. So I guess you guys are really looking at the landscape, and now Zen's name is now Horizen. Really putting out a vision out there, and it creates a lot of visuals. I think that a lot of people have really enjoyed the new positioning.
Cool. I hope so. I think so. We've had very positive feedback. Of course, you always have some people that just don't like change or had kind of a personal liking to the previous name. But I think it just made a lot of sense. We had to do it.
Yeah, and personally, when I think about Zen, and as a lot of people know, we've been following Zen and ZenCash and what you've been doing since before ZenCash even existed, right? Before you guys actually took that project and shifted, ZenCash away from Z Classic, and where Z Classic was shifted away from Zcash. And so when I thought about ZenCash, and then I was explaining to people what ZenCash was doing in terms of being more than just cash, being more of a messaging platform, the word ZenCash really didn't fit. And so I guess what do you think about the name Horizen that ZenCash now is, and how does that fit into the mission of Horizen now?
Yeah, so I mean, you nailed it. Calling ourselves a cash just doesn't really make sense anymore, because we're going, like our vision, our mission is going so much further beyond a cryptocurrency. So Horizen really does, I mean, it invokes the idea of visionary thinking on the frontier, on the horizon. But really, the way that we got here is we brought together a pretty great special task force to help with the rebrand. And what they did was they surveyed our community. They did stakeholder interviews. So they synthesized all this data over months, and they really teased out from this, like, what do people want this project to be? What do they think we are today? Where do they want us to go tomorrow? And then they synthesized a name that linked to our past, because the ZEN is still in Horizen, but then also is forward-looking and thinks about where are we going in the future? What do people want to see? What's this platform kind of ecosystem that we're trying to build?
And so this ecosystem that you guys are trying to build, and really seems, from our perspective with what's happening, not just with the technology, but also the community and the participation with other projects out there, it's been really amazing to see what you guys have been building, even in face of the 51% attacks, and then with the development with IOHK. Where is Horizen going to be going now with Zen, and using it to make it private and secure and resilient, and not just mineable that the website says, but also immutable?
Yeah, so I mean, really, we're still building out on this strong privacy technology. So we're building out now towards an application ecosystem, with the core applications initially being these cryptographically secure ones that promote privacy, like our messaging app that you mentioned. But then we're also envisioning kind of a sidechain system with smart contracts that include snarks, or zero-knowledge cryptography, so we can do provably secure and safe types of transactions and economic activities for people. But really, this project is not just a technology project; it's also an economics project and a social project. So a lot of the things we're trying to do is we're blending technology with these social imperatives and using strong economics to make sure that we get things right in a way that's sustainable.
And so explain a little bit further into your own words. What is Zen going to be building? What is it going to be doing for society beyond just the cryptocurrency? So
the next big project, the next big technology deliverables for us coming towards the end of the year we're actually democratizing our treasury. So basically our big funding pool that we use to pay for our team, fund projects, fund R&D. We're democratizing it. We're creating a liquid democracy, basically liquid democracy, a voting system built into our software protocol, and we're going to deploy this on a sidechain. So there's two big technologies that we'll be delivering. One is the voting system, and the second is the sidechain system. So it's the sidechain system that has really the potential to kick off a vast amount of platform type activities, like distributed applications, massive scaling capability, because we can migrate a lot of the stuff we do off the main chain and onto side chains. We're building this towards having smart contracting on side chains. So there's a lot of stuff that will be coming towards the end of the year.
So is this the Zen DAO that you're talking about?
Exactly, yeah. So a DAO is an interesting thing. Like the way that I look at a DAO, like a true DAO, is one where everything is decentralized. Like every decision-making element is decentralized. What we're doing is we're tackling the first part, which is how do you decentralize the money? Like how do you decentralize the budget decisions? That's the big thing we're tackling with this treasury system. The next step there is how do you make other governance decisions like software upgrades, or how do we decide that we're doing a side chain instead of like a block DAG or some other technology. We're doing both right now. We're committed to, but you know what I mean. Like how do we decide what type of software to include, where to take the project technically? So that's the second element of DAO. It's longer on the horizon for our roadmap. But the first part's really important too. How do you allocate money?
Yeah, so it's really about, it seems to me, decentralizing as many of the aspects of the organization as possible, because while you're a co-founder of ZenCash, you're a co-founder of Horizen, you're not really a CEO or a president of Zen or Horizen, right? The idea is to structure it in such a way that no one person can influence the entire project. Is that true?
That's exactly right. So really, and this is something in the near term, a little teaser, is we're actually going to restructure our ecosystem, the organization of the ecosystem a bit. So right now, we have a nonprofit. In the near future, we'll have a DAO for funding. And then what we're going to do is we're going to create a for-profit company. And the for-profit company, then you can have a CEO of and so forth. But the for-profit is no more special than any other company that wants to launch and then bid for resources to the DAO. Because ultimately, we're all going to be bidding resources from the DAO, which means the community ultimately is the deciding voice in the governance.
That's really interesting. And then so the next step is to have that DAO. And so we right now we have Zen, the currency. We have the Zen nodes that are providing a lot of resilience and are rewarding people for running Zen nodes or Zen secure nodes, which take 42 Zen or 500 Zen respectively. We have the Zen DAO that's going to be released. You're saying Q4 maybe later this year?
Yep, that's our goal. So it'll be at least the first version of it, and we'll probably, I think because it's such an important thing, we'll probably do a phased rollout where we'll do an initial rollout with maybe like part of the budget, and then we'll kind of increase the amount of budget that gets allocated autonomously to the system.
So it's like a slow roll, putting more and more power into the hands of the users?
Exactly, because what we don't want to do is to just rush to market with some software that automates everything, and then something goes wrong with it, and then the entire system just gets bogged down, or chaos comes about.
Yeah.
Like what if we were to allocate 100% of the budget autonomously to the software, and something goes wrong with it where we can't access any of the budget, and what do? Everything grinds to a halt. So we can't have that.
Of course.
So I think a phased rollout makes a lot more sense.
Yeah. And then how do users vote or interact with the DAO? Do they need to run a node, or is it just simply having Zen in a wallet?
So the first version, the prototype we have right now, is you have to run a full node. Now, of course, the design path over time is to make it as user-friendly as possible, which means ultimately I would like it to be able to run out of any type of wallet, but we're not there yet. So the initial version will be you have to run a node.
Got it. So that'll be really interesting because, like you said, it's a slow rollout. It's a phased rollout, not just in terms of the testing of the software, but also the development to really evolve this into its full evolution, right? So we can have a seamless way for all people to vote and participate on the network. I
right.
think is the ultimate vision. So talking about Zen, and I'm personally really, really excited about the future of blockchain and Bitcoin and cryptocurrency as a whole. With that, I'm really excited about Zen and Horizen, and what my understanding is of what's really going to be built with Zen as a protocol down the line. So I know it's not going to happen this year, and it may not happen next year as well, but could you just go a little bit deeper into what is there to be excited about in terms of the ZenHide, ZenChat, ZenPub, ZenGrid, InstaZen, like any of that sort of stuff? Sort of paint the vision of the fun future.
Yeah, I mean, so it's like when you talk about these things, it's easy to be like a kid in a candy store where there's just so many exciting things. So of course we have to really narrow down because we have limited resources. We need to prioritize things. So in the near term, so the next quarter, basically, the next 1 to 2 quarters, the deliveries that you'll see, obviously we'll have product deliveries. We have new wallets coming out, but then we'll have the treasury system, at least the first implementation. We'll have that done on a sidechain, so you see our first implementation of our sidechains. But the sidechains are really cool because here's where we pivot really into being more of a platform, and we can start hosting distributed apps on it. So this is where we want the big vision is to have a whole ecosystem, kind of like a Google Play Store, where we have all of these privacy-centric and then beyond types of applications that still preserve your privacy, and then have ultimately, I want users to own all of their own data. So all of the data that flows off of any of the apps in our ecosystem, I want every user to own it completely themselves and decide what they want to do with it. And ultimately, if we can help users very simply monetize this data with still preserving their privacy, this to me is like the holy grail of what we're trying to do. Now, of course, there's other technologies that go augment that or go in really cool directions on their own. Like we're exploring a block DAG, upgrading our protocol from a blockchain to a DAG in a very proof of work optimized block structure, which is cool. So there's a lot of technology projects that we have projects development marketing side that are exciting. So there's a lot going on. Sometimes the part still.
You're cutting out a little bit on us right in that last part there.
I was just saying, there's so much going on right now. It's sometimes it's difficult to figure out what do we want to broadcast to the community versus we don't want to say everything all at once, right? So we do have plans for the instant Zen type solution would be great, and this is something we teased out there with one of our white papers. It's something we could potentially do with super nodes and sidechains, but we're also looking at other things like stablecoin options. Because we're trying, if you piece this together, what is the current ecosystem we're trying to build? It's essentially like our own virtual economy. So we're trying to build, right now we're laying the infrastructure to make this economy possible. The currency, the messaging systems, the nodes, the computers that are running the infrastructure, right? And then we start layering in some economic things like quick payments, like instant payments, maybe price stable assets like a Zen dollar, so that you can have variable exchange rate exposure instead of always being exposed to the Zen to Bitcoin exchange rate, for instance, right? So there's a lot of other things that go with this ecosystem that we're working on. We're just trying to be a little prudent and judicious with how we convey this to the community.
And as far as that goes, I guess the next logical step is just not only to release the DAO and to start testing that code, but to really finish testing the side chaining that Zen is going to be offering as well. And it sounds as if this sidechain capability is really going to be like a foundational step into turning Zen into a full-fledged platform.
It is. So when we talk about platforms, so we're starting to do some DApp stuff right now on our main chain. But really, to me, the idea of a platform, really, you have to have smart contracting in there. You have to have some ability to build DApps, at scale. In a way with open APIs, so it's not just our team building this stuff. So that's the future that we're going towards. And then again, going back to the beginning of this conversation, that's why ZenCash just no longer makes sense as a name.
Right. There's so much more that you guys were able to see on Horizen that it just there had to be a pivot in there, I suppose.
Yeah, exactly.
Very cool. So I guess wrapping up this conversation, what is it that you want the audience to know? What is it that you want more the everyday person who's getting inside crypto and blockchain to know about Zen, and how do you think would be best for them to participate in the Zen Horizen community?
Yeah, so one saying that we've been going forward with quite a bit, which I think resonates really well with what we're trying to do, is we're taking this technology from geeks to masses. That's our goal, right? So for people that are new to crypto, new to this industry, I think we're positioning ourselves to be an excellent starting point. So some of the products that you're going to see in the marketplace we're going to release in the next month or so will make things really easy for new users to be able to use our technology, use cryptocurrencies in a safe and secure way. So, I think we're an excellent project to be like a first entry point into the industry for people.
Cool. Well, with that being said, if people want more information, your new website domain address is horizen.global. And I think people can find more information about you there, horizen.global. Check out Zen, probably listed at CoinMarketCap or Live Coin Watch, and to learn more information if this is a project that resonates with them.
Yeah, excellent.
Cool. Well, Rob, thanks so much for showing up on the show and sharing us this new branding for Zen and Horizen, and why you guys made this change with the name and the brand, and really what this means for the technology and the community moving forward. Really appreciate your time.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much, Gary.
Thank you too. Have a great day.
You too.
Rob is a busy man, definitely doing a lot of different things. They just have an incredible team, a substantial team, where they are really driving forward this technology. They are really building not just technology, but they are building foundations, they are building relationships, they are building all sorts of research-based information that they're incorporating into Zen. And what's going to happen in the ecosystem is that the incredible things that are developed out of Zen and IOHK are likely going to be shared with other blockchain projects as they are open source based. And it's going to be really interesting to see all of this ecosystem come together and these different platforms rise to the top. As we all well know, there's going to be plenty of systems with this blockchain bubble that do end up going lower in value. It's, in our opinion, that the projects that have incredible teams, the projects that have incredible communities, and the projects that have incredible technology are going to be the projects that survive moving forward. And beyond Bitcoin, beyond Ethereum, Litecoin and Monero, we think ZenCash is definitely one of the top coins to look at. It's also one of the top 5 coins that are part of the portfolio project of the digital currency group. So they have a lot of faith in the technology and the team as well. So that's an additional source of reasoning why the Horizen team has really expanded the technology, the relationships, the community, and the foundation moving forward. So I would love to know, what do you think about Zen? What do you think about Horizen? It's going to take me a while to stop calling Horizen ZenCash. But what do you think about their project? What do you think about Rob? What do you think about the relationships and technology that they're developing in the community? Is Zen crypto token coin that you own, or are you a maximalist in a different direction? I'd love to know, what do you think? And while you're here, tap that like button, hit that subscribe button, bell icon, notification, all of it helps. We really appreciate you and sharing these messages, these interviews, and these reviews with you. Until next time, I'm glad that together we are minting coins.